Welcome to Raleigh, North Carolina, a city known for producing elite athletes and real competitors. From the capital of North Carolina to the home of the Carolina Hurricanes, Raleigh has always been a place where greatness gets built. And when it comes to sports, this city has a history of creating stars who go on to shine on the biggest stages. Names like Carson Wentz, PJ Tucker, and John Wall are all from the same area, proof that Raleigh knows how to develop talent. Now, another rising basketball star is trying to follow the same path, and his name is Ty Jones, a 6'5" shooting guard with a smooth jumper, high basketball IQ, and have the drive to make it to the next level. Overlooked, underrated, and hungry to prove the doubters wrong. This is his journey, from high school gyms to national exposures to the road to the NBA. This is an NBA 2K MyCareer story. Ty went to a school called Raleigh Central High. On the court, he was unstoppable. Ty averaged 25 points and 6 rebounds a game, scoring from all 3 levels. But there was one problem. Nobody was watching. The Bobcats weren't a big-name program. No packed gyms, no nationally ranked. So even with his production, Ty wasn't getting the exposure he deserved. Don't get me wrong, he had a few offers, small Division III schools. But to him, that just wasn't enough. And Ty knew he was like that too. But he had a big decision to make this summer. Was he going to stay or leave? Now, Ty have a cousin named Dante, but everybody in the city knew him as Scrap. They grew up together, same neighborhood, same schools. To most people, they weren't even cousins. They were like brothers. Wherever Ty went, Scrap was usually right there. The bond was real. But as they got older, their paths started to separate. One chose sports and the other chose the streets. That summer, Ty met with the head coach of Raleigh Oaks Academy. The coach told Ty that he remembered him when they played against each other. He remembered the confidence, the shot making, the way Ty carried himself on the floor. Raleigh Oaks were losing seniors. Key players were graduating. The coach told Ty that he could use him. That Raleigh Oaks was the kind of program that could put him on a bigger stage, more eyes, more exposure, a real chance to show what kind of player he truly was. For Ty, it sounded like the opportunity he'd been waiting on. First day of practice at Raleigh Oaks Academy, and Ty was already hooping. From warm-ups to live runs, he stood out. Knocked down jumpers, finished strong at the rim. You could tell right away he belonged. The gym was buzzing, teammates were talking, coaches were watching closely. This was his first step towards proving he was more than just an underrated scorer from Raleigh. Ty's first game of the year just happened to be against his old team, the Raleigh Bobcats. For the moment he stepped on the floor, the energy was different. The crowd was loud and they was booing him every time he touched the ball. At first it got to him. Shots he usually made weren't falling. Layups rolled off. Jumpers hit the back of the rim. The noise was in his head and his rhythm was gone. For the first time all season, Ty looked human and the Bobcats knew it. The Bobcats didn't come to play. They came out firing. From the opening tip, they were hitting everything. Threes, pull-up, touch finishes in traffic. The crowd fed off of it. Every make made them louder. It was their house and they were protecting it. Meanwhile, Raleigh Oaks was scrambling, rotations were late, closeout was slow, and before anyone could blink, the Bobcats had built momentum. They wanted to send a message, and right now, they were doing it. Raleigh Oaks coach had seen enough. With the Bobcats building momentum and the crowd getting louder by the second, he called a timeout. That timeout was needed because after that, Ty came out on 10. Different energy, different focus. He started attacking the basket, pulling up with confidence, playing with purpose. The boos got louder, but they didn't matter anymore. It seemed like the boos was turning him up. His shots started falling. The same crowd that was in his head earlier, now they were just background noise. Ty had found his rhythm, and the game had officially changed. One thing about Ty, he wasn't letting anything stand in his way. Not the crowd, not the pressure, not the moment. Once he locked in, there was no slowing him down. Every possession mattered, and he treated this game like it was a championship game. He wasn't backing down from anybody. He was going straight at whatever was in front of him. And as you guys can see, my man put on a massive performance. like a pure shooting performance. You see, every time he shot the ball, it was going in. And just like that, they end up getting the dub. Ty finished with 35. Now, Dante put on a massive performance in the streets. When that black Mustang pulls up, people get to running. His name carried weight, and his presence alone shifted the energy in the area. Everybody knew Scrap moved with confidence. It wasn't someone to play with. See, my man was a straight bully. Look at him, man, chasing somebody, man. We don't know what he done did to Dante. But that goes to show you, bruh, my man not the one to play with. Like, he really is straight bully. The next game, Ty was killing it on the defensive end. He was everywhere, chasing shooters off the line, sliding his feet on the drives, and meeting people at the rim. He came up with big blocks that got the bench on their feet and shifted the momentum. His defense didn't get talked about enough, but it should. He took pride in locking up his matchups and making every possession hard. That's what makes Ty nice. He's a two-way player. He doesn't just get buckets, he gets stops. He takes pride on both ends of the ball. When his team needs scoring, he delivers. When they need energy, he brings it on defense. He can lock up the best scorers and then come down and hit the big shot on the other end. That's the type of player coaches trusted, the type of teammates lean on. In Raleigh, people are starting to notice Ty isn't just a scorer anymore. He's a problem both ends of the floor. This game right here was different. They were playing Seven Lakes, a team ranked top 10 in the nation. Everybody in the building knew what kind of night it was about to be. College coaches in the stands, scouts on the baseline, cameras out. Seven Lakes came in confident. Deep roster, big guards, real size, real height. This wasn't just another regular season game. This was a statement game. And for Ty, it was the kind of stage he had been waiting on. Ty knew this game could get him on the radar. Seven Lakes was top 10 in the nation. So when the ball went up, Ty came out hooping. No nerves, no hesitation, just straight confidence. He was dang near knocking down every shot. And he was getting his team involved. So that should tell you what type of time he was on. It's like, you could tell he wanted it. Every bucket was loud, every stop was louder. He was playing like he knew this was bigger than just another game. This was an opportunity, and Ty was making sure nobody missed it. With this game right here, he finished with 38 points and 12 rebounds. They end up getting the win, 89-78. You could tell this was a good game. Now this game right here, Ty was putting on a dunk clinic. He was attacking the rim with no fear. Fast breaks, backdoor cuts, straight line drives. Every time he had the lane, he was going up with bad intentions. One-handed dunk, two-hand slam, posters that had the crowd jumping out their seats. My man was looking like a Province Carter out there. Explosive off the floor, finishing through contact, catching bodies every time he got a lane. The crowd couldn't believe what they were seeing. Every dunk had people on their feet, phones out, talking about it before the ball even came back in. After a while, the defense started closing the lanes. They packed the paint, cut off his driver angles, and tried to take away the dunks. But it didn't matter. They must have forgot Ty was a shooter too. Once they backed up, he started letting it fly, catch and shoot threes, pull up off the dribble, step backs when they gave him space. Every time they sagged, he made them pay. Now they were stuck. Play him tight, and he blows by you. Give him space, and he knock it down. There's no winning that matchup. Ty had the defense guessing all night. Ty ended this game with 36 points and 5 rebounds. And with this game right here, he was getting a lot of Division I offers. The next afternoon, word got out that people had a drop on Dante. He was riding when things went left. Somebody pulled up behind him and started shooting at his car. The streets talked. Word eventually made his way back to Dante about who the dudes were. Names got mentioned, face got described, locations started popping up. And Dante being Dante, he went out looking for him. When you live that life, you don't wait around. Once he got the word, he moved fast. No hesitation, no second guessing. That's how he always handled things. React first and dealing with the consequences later. In the streets, waiting can get you caught slipping. So Dante stayed on the move, fully locked in. Dante was still moving in a world where every decision could change everything. Ty eventually got worried about what his cousin had done, but it didn't distract him from his game. He stayed locked in, focused on practice, focused on winning, focused on his future. No matter what was going on around him, when Ty stepped on the court, basketball was the only thing on his mind. People were always telling him his cousin was holding him back, that being around Dante will only bring problems, that he needed to distance himself if he really wanted to make it. But Ty never left his side. Family was family, but Ty had a bigger plan. His goal wasn't just to make it for himself. He wanted to put his cousin in a better position too. Ty talked about getting NIL deals, building his brand, and taking Dante with him to college, just so he could leave the streets behind. He believed there was more out there than the life Dante was stuck in, more opportunities, and a real future. Ty knew he couldn't control every choice his cousin made, but he wanted to open the door for him, give him a reason to walk away from everything that kept pulling him back. Basketball was Ty's path. Opportunity was his leverage, and he was just trying to use both to change more than his own life. By the middle of the season, Ty was on a different level. He was dominating every night, putting up big numbers, making highlight plays, locking people up on defense. Every game felt like another statement. Then the social media buzz started. Clips of him dunking going viral. His jumpers were all over Instagram and TikTok. Sports page posting his name. NIL deals started coming in. Local brands, clothing companies, training facilities. Everybody wanted a piece of the next big thing out of Raleigh. Ty was going from underrated to undeniable. Headlines started popping up. Rising star from Raleigh. Two-way guard make noise. Next up. Yeah, Ty was living. Now Dante was blowing up for all the wrong reasons. He was known as one of the biggest bloods in Raleigh. His name kept popping up in conversations all over the city. What was happening in the streets started making the news. Neighborhoods on edge. Stories running back to back. The cops didn't have enough to make an arrest. No solid names, no clear proof, just piece of information and a strong idea of who was moving behind the scenes. And if we're being real, everybody in Raleigh knew who was causing havoc. Now Ty was getting ready to play one of the biggest games of his life. Another top-ranked team out of Raleigh, and everybody was there. Dante was pulling up to the game to support his cousin. No matter what was going on in the streets, he never missed Ty's big moment. He knew this game was huge. Top-ranked opponent, big crowd, all eyes in Raleigh. It was about family. It was about pride. It was about seeing his cousin take another step towards the future he'd been chasing. As Dante sat in the car getting ready to pull off, the unthinkable happened. Somebody got the drop on him. When he looked up, he knew it was over.